Hi, I'm Mike Macedonio, Executive Director with BNI in the San Francisco Bay Area. And today I'm joined with Joel Harris. Joel is an estate planning attorney, and inside of BNI, he's in the top 1% of BNI members in the San Francisco Bay Area, sponsoring members in 2021. Joel, in just 2021, has sponsored 3 new members. By the way, this is not the first time he's been a 1%er. So I'd like to welcome Joel. Joel, would you mind explaining to the audience who you are and what you do?
Thank you, Mike. My name is Joel Harris. I'm an estate planning, probate, and elder law attorney here in Northern California. I'm a member of the C.C. Byrne chapter in Pleasant Hill. But during the days of the plague, Mike, I've been working statewide, so I can do estate planning and other planning for anybody in California. It's a lot of fun to do it on Zoom.
Oh, outstanding.
And actually, I'm up to 4 members, but I guess it doesn't count because my 4th new member wasn't approved until just after the end of 2021. But I'm going to count him for purposes of this discussion, because what I find interesting is that when thinking about the last 4 members I sponsored is they all were completely different in how I got them into the chapter. So
explain what that looked like.
Well, so one person, I literally had to hunt down that position. So it was a position we really wanted in our chapter. We needed a new family law attorney, and family law is very popular. So I started hunting for family law attorneys and inviting them to the chapter meetings. And I finally got one to show up, and she absolutely loved it. And she joined, and she's been a very enthusiastic new member. And she's also been, her firm that she works with understands what a good idea it is, and they've been getting immediate business from her membership. So I think she's going to be a really good member.
So tell me how that's different from other people that you've invited and joined BNI.
Yeah, well, I got a little lucky last year. So this was one I had to go hunt. One of them, Mike, was like fell on my head and said, "Hey, Joel, I'd like to join your chapter. I hear you're great. Would you be my sponsor?" So I love those. My second easiest one was I'd like to network with other chapters, other members of other chapters, who especially I can be power partners with. People who don't do that are really missing out. So I got a great referral from attorney in another chapter who sent us a estate litigation attorney, and now we're big time power partners, and she's thanked me for about $35,000 in 1 week. So that was easy, and I met with her, did a one-to-one. She was great, and I sponsored her into our chapter. So on those 2, I kind of got lucky, Mike. I probably shouldn't have told you that.
No, I mean, you say it's luck, okay, but there you are putting yourself out, networking with other BNI members in other chapters. And I agree, it's a great opportunity, and this certainly has paid off. So yeah, maybe a little bit of luck, but I also think, luck is just there for those that go out and earn it. So well done on all of those.
I kind of made that luck, didn't I? But I want to talk about my 4th member, the one who applied in December and was just recently approved. That was more of kind of, I call it gathering versus hunting, which is what I did for the family law attorney. This gentleman came with his parents to an appointment at my office. He was there just to see what happened when they signed their estate planning papers. I find having the family there makes things run more smoothly when the time comes to implement the estate plan. And what I always do is I invite them, and then I ask them what they do. And so one of the 2 sons said, "Oh, I'm a marriage and family therapist." And I said, "Oh, well, how's business? Do you need any more business?" And he said, "Well, the business I have is pretty good, but I don't really want it anymore. I'm trying to switch to a more of a private practice, and I could really use those kinds of clients." So I told him about my chapter. He enthusiastically came as a visitor, fell in love with it, and applied that day for membership. So I really felt, so I do this a lot when I have the opportunity to meet with people, which has been a lot harder in the last year. But I had the opportunity, and I felt like I really kind of gathered and created that visitor and that guest just by asking a few questions.
Oh, that's an excellent story. And you're right. All four of these are different. They're all completely
Yeah.
different. What they have in common, though, is that Joel Harris invited them to the opportunity, and therefore making the top 1%. Joel, if the listening or viewing audience wanted to get in touch with you, what's the best way to do that?
Well, I love emails. So my email address is just joel@joelharrislaw.com. And of course, my website is then cleverly joelharrislaw.com. So that's my preferred way of contact. Or also, you can always visit CC Burn. We're on Zoom still, like most chapters.
Joel, thank you so much for sharing those insights. Thank you so much for the time you spent with me and sharing this information. Look forward to celebrating with you in person. Okay, when the weather clears and the COVID clears, we're having a party.
I'm ready,
Congratulations.
Mike, especially like your parties. And if everyone out there works hard enough, they'll get invited too.
I'd love to have everyone here. So thanks again, Joel.
Thank you, Mike. Always a pleasure.